So I have a pretty big project going on. I'm putting an addition on my little house. I got Andrew on the excavator. The driveway is going to Y off right there, and it's going to be a walkout basement. So he's cutting into this hill, and the addition's going on that side. So he's got to cut into this hill down to basement level. But the bigger part of this project is that along with the basement on the addition, I'm gonna put a basement underneath this current house. Whoa! Shush! So I already got a beam, I already got 3 beams in. I gotta get one more on this side, but we're digging in from this side, so I wanted to get these beams in first. So there's kind of a lot going on. So I have 2 beams running this way, and then there's an existing wood beam support in the middle of the house, and then I just have this beam underneath those carrying it, and we got it shored up on the outside and then in the middle. And then the plan is, as we dig under the house, maybe dig like a section and then get some shoring posts in there, and then another section, and then I'm not 100% sure yet. It's my first time putting a basement under a house, so we're just gonna kind of take it as we go. But hopefully I got the beams are big enough and I can get it shored up well enough. But I got to get on the skid steer and start moving dirt, because he's probably going to catch up to me quick. So I'll get into more depth on how I shored this up in a bit, but I want to get this driveway cut in. So this is the end of day 1 of digging. We moved a lot of dirt today. I've underestimated the amount of dirt that's being accumulated. Making this walkout basement, it just takes a lot of dirt that I gotta move. I still need to do a bunch of finish grading on each side to get the yard where I want it. So that's gonna move a lot of dirt too. But right now I just wanna get the basement, the driveway cut in, and then the basement. I'm almost to where the addition starts, after right by that pile there. I'm about grade too. I was shooting it with the laser minus the driveway I got to put in, but I'm about grade where I want to be at the basement floor. I got my pile back here. I'm trying to find some people that want to come get this. I'm up to my armpits in clay here, so I'll find somewhere to put it eventually, but I'm just kind of running out of room back here. It's really nice clay too. It packs super well. There's not a lot of big rocks in it, just little pebbles, and just really nice clay. That's why my pond down there holds water really well. Packs in nice. So I'm gonna get these 2 piles, try to get these 2 piles out of here, stacked up tonight, so we can get a good head start tomorrow, so we can start digging. The basement is under these piles. So that's my stockpile there. It's going to be pretty big. Doesn't look big in the video, but there's a lot there. So I'm going to move these 2 piles, and then we'll get started tomorrow. All right, this is day 2 of digging. I worked late last night. I got these 2 piles knocked out where the basement addition's going. I got a little bit of help today. My cousin's coming to run the skid steer. There was 3 of us yesterday, so it was kind of nice. We were able to rotate machines. But I gotta get this basement marked out and then start tearing into that. Hopefully get this knocked out and then maybe start figuring out what I gotta do to dig underneath the house. A lot of dirt to move. I still have to slope all this yard back. I don't know where I'm gonna put that dirt yet. Got that septic pipe out of the way, kind of. Dustin keeps hitting it. Still a lot left to do. We haven't even dug under the house yet. I should have just disconnected that sewer pipe right there, like I did right there, just get it out of the way, but oh well, we made a little bridge. Alright, this is the end of day 2 digging. We're trying to get something done other than make a mess, because we've definitely done that. Ran out of room there with that dirt. Made a couple more piles here. I still have a bunch more. I'm gonna do a little more grading on the front yard there. It'll need more work down the road, but get it good enough for now while I have that machine. But got the basement part dug out here. I ran into some like sandy, gravelly soil that was holding some water. I'm hoping that dries up. If not, I gotta figure out, either way, I gotta make like a drainage ditch. So I might do that and get rid of some of that water. The weather looks nice for the next couple days, so it's day 3 or 4. I don't even remember what day it is. Finally got some of this dirt out of here. This guy says he's gonna take a couple loads. Everyone's got a different definition of couple. I hope his is like 5 or 6, but he's taking at least 2, I think, hopefully more. So I'm glad to get some of that out of here. But I got this sewer pipe out of the way. I got to try to get that mud dried up under there, maybe fill it in, and then I'll show you what we got going on in depth with under the house here. So under the house, we have a beam running full length right there, and then there's an existing wood beam running down the middle. And then we have a beam, if you can see it, running the other way underneath those three, and we were jacking on the two far ends and in the middle, and we were able to lift this end of the house. It was loose on all the block, pretty much on this half of the house. So I'm pretty sure that that beam's got it underneath those. It's just a matter of, I don't know exactly how this is gonna work yet, but my plan is, after we're done loading those 20 trucks, hopefully, to get rid of this clay, we're gonna bring the big one in here and put the bucket on upside down and try to hog out 2 slots about right there and here to get in some shoring columns underneath the beam this way that's carrying those 3. That's the plan. We'll see if that works. So we have these 2 slots hogged in there. He only hit the sewer pipe once. I didn't put enough spray paint on it, I guess.
You didn't spray paint that part of the pipe.
Yeah. So the plan is, I got these road plates cut. They're like 3/4 inch thick. I'm gonna put those down in there underneath that beam, and then we're gonna put those columns up and try to lift that beam a little bit and set all the weight on these 2 columns. I have some like adjustable shoring posts too that I'm gonna use for extra safety, but I like the idea of using these because I can like weld them together and put all kinds of crazy kickers and stuff on them. Is that heavy?
Oh, yep.
Oh, I think you gotta walk it. It's gotta go in a little bit more. Walk it with the bar.
Yeah, that's how they built the pyramids.
I thought the aliens helped them. I got shit water dripping on me.
That's how they built the pyramids.
So I want to center that under that beam. Hold on.
That's how they built the pyramids.
We got this one in. So we can stand those columns up. I could weld. I want to take the weight off that beam and then set them on the columns to take see if they settle, and then I can even weld those base plates to these plates, and I can do all kinds of stiffeners and stuff. That can be strong enough?
Looks a little anemic. Yeah, get in there. Hey.
So we're gonna jack from right here, the other far side, and then in the middle to try to lift it all equal to get those columns underneath it, and we'll see how it settles. The beams, it's taking weight right now. We had it up. All these blocks are loose. It's probably holding half the house up now. So it's just to see if those columns is gonna support the whole thing. You know you're doing something when you start hearing all that creaking. Yeah, you see him starting to lift up the block. Yeah, that one's loose. I got the weight off my side. need another plate underneath this jack. Is it moving? Oh, those are loose. Go up a little bit. There it goes. Couple more.
We have lid off all the way to the front fuel tank.
Got that column plumb. Let your side down. See how much it settles. Yeah, go all the way slow. Oh my. How does it look? So we've got both of those in and we're off all the jacks. So all the weight is resting on these two columns. We're braking with a smoothie. And I don't know, I feel pretty good about it. I'm gonna set a benchmark. It's still off the block, but I'm gonna get the laser out and set a benchmark off something to see if they settle over time. But other than that, I think we're just gonna start digging. Is it gonna fall?
If it's got it, it's got it.
Well, hopefully it's got it. So that's it for today. We're about a quarter of the way under the house, and that's about all that big excavator can reach, is without hitting the house, is where we're at right now. But I don't think it'll be too bad. The plan is with the skid steer, I was kind of pecking away at it already. Just take a little bit at a time, start from the top, and it was just kind of falling in the bucket. So that's the plan for the rest of it. Maybe get a mini excavator under here, but I think I can do most of it with that skid steer. So I welded these columns to those 3/4 inch base plates I have that are like 3 by 4, I think those were. Welded the columns down there and then had some weld up there. I mean, these two columns and that beam, that's holding at least half the house right now, because these beams running this way are short up on that side, and that's definitely taken some weight. There's a slight bow in this beam. Like in the middle, it's a little bit humped up, but it doesn't look terrible. I am going to put some secondary shoring posts on the end and the middle just for an extra safety. So like when I'm digging the middle section, I'll have shoring posts on the outside, and then I'll take that one out, dig this side, put one in the middle, and just kind of keep backing it up. So that's the plan. Still a lot of dirt to move.
But it's you're really digging in. So you got about 2 inches, inch and a half, 2 inches.
They loose?
This one is. I don't know about this side over here.
I think we'll have to put his bucket on backwards too. So it's been about 2 weeks since we started digging for my addition and then underneath the house that I'm putting a basement under. And we're doing the same thing we did when we started. We dug 2 slots to put these 2 columns under to support the house, to support that beam that's supporting the house, and then dig out and around. So we got to do the same thing back here. There's a beam back there just like this one that's underneath these 2 or 3 beams actually. There's an existing house beam. So we got to dig 2 slots out there, put these columns underneath to support it, and then dig out and around. So I've replaced these 2 columns with these shoring towers. These shoring towers have the weight right now, so I got to take those columns out to put them back there. These shoring towers was kind of my plan all the way along because we have to jack the house up to be able to pour the basement walls, they're ICF walls, and then set the house back down on top of it. So it's a little more stable to jack off of these shoring towers. But he's gonna dig those 2 slots. I gotta cut these columns loose. I welded the base of these columns to some big road plates, and the shoring towers are kind of on the road plates now. So I'm gonna cut those columns off of those plates. I have new plates to put back there, and yeah, we're gonna go from there. pretty much done digging under the basement, which I'm glad about. That was a lot of dirt to move, but it didn't go too bad. So I might have to do a little bit more in the corner, clean it up after I lay out for my footer, but for the most part, this is all dug out, and I got to add another shoring tower there, and I'm going to leave those 2 columns just for like a safety. I had those out here, and then I put these towers in and then jumped them to dig that backside, but I'm just going to leave them in there. They're not really in the way. And then I'm going to put up these temporary shoring posts kind of in special spots just for an extra safety also. But I think it's got it held pretty good. These beams look pretty good if you sight down them. I think it's got the weight pretty well, so I'm not too worried about it. But I'm going to kind of end this video here with the digging. The next step is going to be the footer, then the ICF walls, and then I have to jack up the house off of these towers. I got to jack up a couple feet so I can pour the walls. The walls are insulated concrete form walls, so I got to get a pump truck in there. That's going to be a little tricky, especially with this little utility room bump out I have. This is going to leave eventually, but it's staying for now because we're still living in it. So it's going to be a little bit tricky. I'm going to try to jack off the 4 tower points, and then I'll have to do something else there to try to lift it all equal. But that's going to be a couple videos away. But thanks for watching, and see you on the next one.